The 1970s. A decade unlike any other. It was a time of bell-bottoms, lava lamps, and disco balls spinning under the glow of vibrant lights. The world felt alive with creativity and change. Whether you were grooving to the latest hits on your vinyl records, watching TV shows that shaped your evenings, or flipping through magazines to see the stars who defined an era, the 70s were unforgettable. Today, we're taking a nostalgic trip back to revisit the iconic figures who defined the 70s. The celebrities who left an indelible mark on the decade and on our hearts. Let's see how many of these familiar faces you still remember.
Got chill if you dare. This is
David Bowie was the chameleon of the 1970s, redefining what it meant to be an artist. With Ziggy Stardust, he brought glam rock to life, blending music, fashion, and cultural fluidity in a way that inspired countless fans. Bowie wasn't just a musician, he was a symbol of change and self-expression in a decade where individuality took center stage. Few artists captured the spirit of the 70s like Elton John. From his oversized glasses to his flamboyant outfits, Elton was larger than life. His iconic albums like Goodbye Yellow Brick Road and chart-topping hits made him a household name, dominating pop and rock with his unmatched charisma and incredible piano playing.
powers. Keep on lying.
Stevie Wonder became a force of nature in the 1970s, revolutionizing soul and R&B with masterpieces like Songs in the Key of Life and Inner Visions. His genius for blending heartfelt lyrics with innovative sounds made his music not just popular, but timeless. Stevie didn't just create music, he created movements.
On that you can depend and never worry.
Already a star with the Supremes, Diana Ross transitioned into an unstoppable solo career in the 1970s. Hits like Ain't No Mountain High Enough and her dazzling performances solidified her as the queen of Motown. She defined elegance and empowerment, inspiring generations of fans with her undeniable talent.
Morning sun, I feel you touch me in the pouring rain.
If the 1970s had a soundtrack, it would be set to the falsetto harmonies of the Bee Gees. With Saturday Night Fever, they became the face of disco, turning dance floors into cultural hotspots. Barry Robin and Maurice Gibb weren't just musicians, they were the heartbeat of a movement.
Catch on fire. You're gonna get burned.
Bob Marley brought reggae to the world in the 1970s, becoming a global icon for peace, unity, and revolution. Albums like Exodus and anthems like One Love weren't just songs, they were calls to action. Marley's influence went far beyond music, making him one of the most enduring figures of the decade.
I feel alive.
Freddie Mercury redefined what a rock frontman could be. With a voice that could soar through operatic anthems like Bohemian Rhapsody and performances that captivated millions, Freddie and Queen brought drama and showmanship to the 70s rock scene. Mercury was bold, theatrical, and absolutely unforgettable.
Men say, only fools, only fools.
By the 1970s, Elvis Presley had already become a legend, but his influence didn't fade. The king of rock and roll still packed venues and wowed audiences with his iconic Vegas performances. Elvis remained a symbol of American pop culture, showing that his star power was as bright as ever.
Imagine there's no heaven.
Post-Beatles, John Lennon continued to shape the cultural landscape of the 1970s. With songs like Imagine, he became a voice for peace and social justice. Lennon's raw honesty and poetic songwriting struck a chord with fans worldwide, making him not just a music icon but a symbol of hope for a better world. John Travolta became the face of cool in the late 1970s. With his electrifying dance moves in Saturday Night Fever and Charm in Grease, Travolta captured the spirit of a generation. He was the guy everyone wanted to be or dance with, embodying the energy and style of the disco era. Farrah Fawcett didn't just star in Charlie's Angels. She became a pop culture phenomenon. Her feathered hair and iconic red swimsuit poster were everywhere, turning her into a symbol of 1970s glamour. Farrah wasn't just a TV star. She was a cultural icon who defined an era.
Now, I can't do it for you. I'm too old.
Al Pacino's intensity and grit made him one of the defining actors of the 1970s. Whether as Michael Corleone in The Godfather or Sonny in Dog Day Afternoon, Pacino delivered unforgettable performances that cemented his legacy as one of the greatest actors of his generation. In the late 1970s, Meryl Streep began her meteoric rise with her poignant performance in The Deer Hunter. Her natural talent and emotional depth hinted at the incredible career that was just beginning. Streep's early work in the 70s showed that she was destined to redefine acting for decades to come. Dustin Hoffman became one of the most respected actors of the 1970s with roles in films like Kramer vs. Kramer and Marathon Man. His ability to bring authenticity and complexity to every role made him a household name and a true master of his craft.
Wild is the word. The jungle look.
Linda Carter became a symbol of female empowerment as Wonder Woman on TV. With her iconic costume and graceful strength, Carter brought the beloved superhero to life, inspiring young girls and earning her a permanent place in pop culture history.
It's the cup. You put water into a bottle, it becomes the bottle. You put it in a teapot, it becomes the teapot.
Bruce Lee wasn't just a martial artist, he was a cultural revolution. His films, like Enter the Dragon and The Way of the Dragon, brought martial arts to the global stage and showcased his incredible discipline and philosophy. Lee's impact on film, culture, and representation remains unmatched.
My fellow Americans, I come before you tonight as a candidate for...
Richard Nixon's presidency left an indelible mark on the 1970s. From his groundbreaking trip to China to the controversial Watergate scandal, Nixon defined a turbulent era in American politics. His resignation in 1974 was a dramatic moment that reshaped how the nation viewed its leaders, making him both a pivotal and divisive figure.
26 years ago, a freshman congressman
thrust into the presidency after Nixon's resignation, Gerald Ford became a steadying hand for a nation in crisis. Whether granting Nixon a controversial pardon or dealing with an economic downturn, Ford's leadership focused on restoring trust in the presidency. He was seen as a symbol of decency during a politically fractured time.
Simultaneously issued in Peking at this very moment. But
Jimmy Carter's presidency brought a focus on human rights, environmental issues, and energy conservation. With his folksy demeanor and commitment to peace, Carter offered a refreshing contrast to the political scandals of the era. From negotiating the Camp David Accords to addressing the energy crisis, Carter's leadership reflected the challenges and hopes of the late 1970s.
Socialists don't like people to do things for themselves.
Though not yet prime minister, Margaret Thatcher's rise as the leader of the opposition in the 1970s set the stage for her transformative role in British politics. Known as the Iron Lady, she became a symbol of determination and strength, pushing for conservative reforms and preparing for the sweeping changes she would later bring to the UK.
I'm just trying to organize an evasive reply.
Secretary of State Henry Kissinger was the architect of American foreign policy in the 1970s. Known for his role in détente with the Soviet Union, opening diplomatic relations with China, and negotiating peace during the Vietnam War, Kissinger's strategies shaped the global landscape. His influence made him one of the most recognizable and debated figures of the decade. Muhammad Ali transcended sports to become a global icon of athleticism, charisma, and activism. In the 1970s, he reclaimed his heavyweight boxing title in unforgettable bouts like the Rumble in the Jungle and Thrilla in Manila. His bold personality and stand for social justice made him a hero both in and out of the ring, cementing his legacy as the greatest. Pelé, the Brazilian soccer legend, brought the world's attention to the beautiful game like no other. By the 1970s, his skill, sportsmanship, and electrifying play had expanded soccer's global appeal, especially during his stint with the New York Cosmos, which introduced American audiences to his brilliance. Bjorn Borg's icy composure and relentless drive made him a tennis legend. The Swedish star dominated Wimbledon in the 1970s, winning 5 consecutive titles. His battles with rivals like John McEnroe showcased tennis at its finest and solidified his place as a true icon of the sport.
Sends it to Kareem. Skyhook up and good. Lakers win.
Kareem Abdul-Jabbar was a towering figure, both literally and figuratively, in NBA basketball during the 1970s. With his signature skyhook shot, he led teams like the Milwaukee Bucks and Los Angeles Lakers to glory, earning MVP awards and redefining the game for future generations.
Different from what a lot of people have seen in his later years due to some injuries, hip problems that he's had.
Known as the Golden Bear, Jack Nicklaus redefined golf in the 1970s with his unparalleled skill and focus. With multiple major wins, including memorable Masters victories, Nicklaus became a dominant force on the greens and an enduring symbol of excellence in the sport.
What makes this match a credible match and what makes it the attraction that it is.
Billie Jean King shattered barriers in tennis and beyond. In the 1970s, she famously defeated Bobby Riggs in the Battle of the Sexes, proving that women's sports deserved equal respect. Her victories on the court and her activism off it made her a trailblazer and an inspiration for generations to come. Andy Warhol revolutionized the art world in the 1970s with his unique blend of pop culture and celebrity obsession. From his Campbell's soup cans to his portraits of icons like Marilyn Monroe, Warhol blurred the line between art and commerce. His factory studio became a hub for creative and countercultural expression, cementing his legacy as a pioneer of modern art.
From a wrong side of the tracks childhood in the Midwestern United States to a celebrity-studded
Gloria Steinem emerged as one of the most influential voices of the feminist movement in the 1970s. As the co-founder of Miss Magazine, she gave women a platform to discuss critical issues like equality and reproductive rights. Her passionate advocacy and eloquence inspired a generation and made her a symbol of empowerment.
Instead of describing it, I drew it.
The 1970s marked the beginning of Stephen King's reign as the King of Horror. His debut novel, Carrie, and follow-up hits like The Shining captivated readers with their chilling plots and relatable characters. King's work redefined horror as a literary genre, making it both terrifying and thought-provoking.
And yet we're related in the most intimate way to their life cycles. The very matter that makes...
Carl Sagan brought the wonders of the universe to living rooms worldwide with his groundbreaking TV series Cosmos. A scientist and storyteller, Sagan had an unparalleled ability to make complex concepts accessible and awe-inspiring. His passion for exploration and curiosity inspired millions to look up at the stars and ask, "What's out there?"
Most of what's going on in Washington is not government representing the people.
Ralph Nader became the face of consumer advocacy in the 1970s, fighting tirelessly for safer cars, cleaner environments, and corporate accountability. His book, Unsafe at Any Speed, exposed flaws in the auto industry, leading to significant reforms. Nader's dedication to protecting consumers made him a trailblazer for public interest activism.
I want to say why I am here. And the reason why I'm here is because I'm Nicaraguan.
Bianca Jagger became a symbol of glamour and sophistication during the 1970s, regularly gracing Studio 54 with her iconic style. Known for her bold fashion choices and sharp wit, she embodied the era's elegance while also advocating for social justice causes. Bianca's presence at the decade's most exclusive events cemented her status as a cultural icon.
You have to accept yourself, that you have to like yourself, you have to be strict with yourself. You basically...
Diane von Furstenberg revolutionized women's fashion with her creation of the wrap dress in the 1970s. This versatile, flattering design became a wardrobe staple, empowering women with both style and comfort. Von Furstenberg's contributions to fashion weren't just about clothing. They symbolized independence and confidence for a new generation. Twiggy, the 1960s supermodel who defined a decade with her androgynous look, seamlessly transitioned into the world of entertainment in the 1970s. From acting to singing, she showcased her versatility and charm. Twiggy's iconic style and timeless appeal allowed her to remain a fixture in fashion and culture well beyond her modeling days.
What's that? Being a Disney in New York, too. No.
Yes, you are.
Am I really? Are you serious?
They're watching you right now.
Steve Jobs, a visionary who co-founded Apple in 1976, played a pivotal role in sparking the personal computer revolution. His focus on sleek design and user-friendly technology transformed how people interact with computers. The Apple I was just the beginning of a journey that would make Jobs one of the most influential figures in tech history.
Hello, I'm Bill Gates, chairman of Microsoft.
In 1975, Bill Gates, alongside Paul Allen, founded Microsoft, laying the groundwork for software that would revolutionize the computer industry. Gates' vision of a computer on every desk and in every home drove the rise of personal computing, with MS-DOS and Windows becoming household names in the years to come.
Is we sort of stand on each other's shoulders.
Known as the father of video games, Nolan Bushnell founded Atari in 1972, introducing the world to Pong, one of the first arcade video games. Bushnell's innovations brought video gaming into mainstream culture, paving the way for the gaming industry's explosive growth and changing entertainment forever.
Not quite epitaph. For Bill Clinton.
Hunter S. Thompson redefined journalism in the 1970s with his unique gonzo style, blending fact, fiction, and his own wild adventures. His 1971 masterpiece, Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas, captured the counterculture spirit of the era, offering readers a surreal and raw look at the American dream. Thompson's unapologetic voice remains a hallmark of fearless reporting.
Charlie, but let me tell you, that's the wrong question.
Okay, what's the right question?
How do you feel?
In 1973, Toni Morrison released Sula, cementing her place as one of the most important voices in American literature. Her evocative storytelling explored the complexities of identity, race, and relationships, leaving an indelible mark on readers. Morrison's work during the 70s laid the foundation for her later recognition as a Nobel Prize-winning author.
Now, lend me your ears. This is how to write a good short.
With Breakfast of Champions, published in 1973, Kurt Vonnegut continued his legacy of sharp wit and profound commentary on human nature. His satirical lens turned everyday absurdities into thought-provoking narratives, making him a defining literary figure of the 1970s. Vonnegut's blend of humor and humanity resonated deeply with a generation grappling with societal upheaval. The 70s were packed with visionaries who changed the world forever. From fearless writers to cultural pioneers, their legacies continue to inspire us today. Let us know your favorite 70s icon in the comments. And don't forget to subscribe for more trips down memory lane.